Hello, demigods, nymphs, gods, naiads, dryads, satyrs, mortals. Welcome to the final live show for the first leg of the Riordan Along. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's kind of surreal when you say it like that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, we did that.
You mean we stuck to something we said we were going to do?
Exactly.
Shocker. First time ever in our lives.
If you did not know, this read-a-thon, or read-along, I should say, started kind of as a joke, kind of not. So we weren't necessarily planning on making it as big as we have, but we did, and I can't say I regret any of the decisions that we've made. So, yeah, excuse me while I get to a lighting situation that does not make me look like a weirdo. So, there are not a lot of... I'm going to end up making this live show a little bit more chaotic because I've got notes, I've got theories, I've got all the thoughts. So...
And then there's just me over here who's half asleep.
You're
so I don't know if this is a sickness or just allergies. It goes back and forth like every fucking hour if it's allergies or a cold.
Let's just hope it's not COVID again.
As of the test I took yesterday, it's not. Because I took a test before I went to my friend's.
That makes sense.
Because I was like, you sure you want me over? Because I'm kind of not feeling well. She's like, as long as it's not COVID, you're fine. And I'm like, okay, I took a test. It's negative. So. But, yeah.
Okay. Holy cow. I have
already gotten distracted.
Oh my god. No, I just keep getting fucking notifications on my phone.
Yeah, me getting the notification that we're live. It's like, yes, I know.
It's like,
I'm here. Like, I wish you knew that. Like, basically, anytime that you are live, I don't need notifications. I'm probably there.
Yup. Or about to be there.
Exactly.
So, nobody's here yet. But it's fine.
We could still kind of start so that we're not going for like hours and hours.
I mean, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. So. Well, obviously we are here to discuss
The Lightning Thief. Or The Last Olympian. I did this in the messages too. I almost said The Lightning Thief. We're not discussing that. We've been there, done that.
We did that in July.
We the links to things will be in the description below, and because of my fuck up, I will add The Lightning Thief to the description. So hold on.
Also, hello, Mac.
Hello.
We have somebody here for moral support, even though she hasn't read any of the books.
Mac. Or I have to give credit to the people who might be watching this back. Of course. So you're here. Hello, Mac.
We love you.
we do. We do love Mac on this channel.
Yeah. So do
I
we
apologize if I look like a mess. I'm breaking out like nobody's fucking business. So where do you want to start today?
Well, we'll obviously just start with the explanation of the book, which I will always give you because today I do not know the English language.
Okay. So, The Last Olympian is the final book in the original Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and in this book, we are following the original cast of characters as they begin to fulfill prophecy and go on to defeat Kronos. In this book, we have a lot of character growth and development. We have wonderful like story arcs in here. We see a lot of characters come in to themselves and understanding their place in the world. And this book does leave off on a cliffhanger, so we will talk about that later. Actually, that reminds me, I need to put this up.
Can I just say the one thing of how you were like, we have, and my brain just went, we have death?
We do have death. We do have death.
That's
so
what my brain first went.
I'm throwing this out as a trigger warning. We are going to be talking about death and a couple of other heavy topics as they pop up. So just want to let you know, if that's not your thing, scroll away or go like close the tab or the window or whatever.
Take care of yourself first.
Exactly. Yeah, but what Hope said. So yeah, so that is the explanation. Let me get to next comment. I was literally planning on coming on before Morgan texted because I wanted company. I can stay on StreamYard if you want to hang out. I don't know. I think Hope has plans. I don't know if she can get out of those plans, but
I'll figure that out later.
just tell everybody that you're sick and you need to rest.
There.
Anyways, so that was kind of the explanation. So do share.
So the next thing is overall thoughts, and I'll just briefly explain mine because my overall thoughts will take less time to say than Morgan's.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you out, but that's true.
Oh no, I just have a lot to say about this book. So I have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. My overall thoughts is this is definitely one of the better conclusions to a series that I read, like just in a bunch, like just thinking about a bunch of like conclusions to a series. It wraps up the story nicely while leaving doors open for the future. And we have, as Morgan mentioned, character development and characters kind of like coming into themselves and what they want in life. And I really enjoyed that, especially because thinking back to myself at close to these characters' ages of kind of that kind of realization kind of starting.
You were literally their age 2 years ago.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying of like when I first read this series, I literally was the characters' like ages. But looking back on that, like a few years later, because I read this pretty much exactly 3 years ago, because it was December 2019 when I first read this.
Yeah.
So it was nice to kind of see this again, and also of how it had been almost 3 years reading it. I forgot a lot of the ending. I kid you not. Basically, from the point that they went up to Olympus on, I had completely forgotten.
Oh my gosh. Reading this again as a 22-year-old, I can't even, I can't comprehend, that I spent so much time talking, just, hold on, let me...
Yeah, the whole... I will just say, the whole thing, for example, with, Luke, I totally forgot how that happened.
Oh my god.
So imagine me, I'll talk about it more when we get to actually talking about
I am hoping that is, the one thing they change in the show. But, I understand the importance of it, but at the same time, I'm I don't
yeah,
want to die.
The thing is, I was crying, but it was the crying where you're not actually producing tears.
I've been doing that a fuck ton lately.
I was doing that, and then I literally was like, I can't read more. I literally think I dropped the book and was like, yeah, we'll come back to that in like 10 minutes.
That's fair. So
yeah. Tears, happiness, love, yeah.
This book makes me just as happy as the first time I read it, back in, I want to say 2012, I think was the first time I read this book, and my feelings have not changed. So I will just do a quick overview of what my Goodreads review says. It's this book has always been my favorite in the original series. I love seeing how Rick brings everything together in the end. I remember reading the plot twist when I was younger and having my mind completely blown. As someone who has also continued into the tie-in series, I like all of the hints about future books that Riordan drops. I hadn't caught them all until this reread. And so just my general thoughts is I fucking love this book. I love the characters. I love how they grow and how they're faced with these different challenges and how the relationship between characters change. Not just Percy and Annabeth, but for example, Clarice has a really interesting character arc in this book where she eventually lets go of her pride as far as the chariot is concerned, and she's just ready to fucking go. And watching her, or not watching her, but reading about her killing that dragon thing and then just running around New York with its corpse just attached to the chariot. I was like, you know what?
That's iconic.
You fucking go, girl. I love her so much, and I don't think I appreciated her enough as a kid because I looked at her as just a mean bully. But now at 22 years old, I'm like, oh, honey, you're in so much pain. Girl, you hurt. And also just Chris in general, he's just I gotta go make sure that my girlfriend does not fucking kill somebody. He's she's a little chaotic, she's a little crazy, but we love her very, very much. Running around with the corpse. I mean, yeah. Yes. Yeah, actually, that's kind of exactly what happens. It's like a giant worm thing. I'm forgetting what it's called off the top of my head. And also, the fucking flying pig.
I forgot about that so much.
Me too. I didn't think I remembered that there was a flying pig, but for some reason I didn't think that happened until the Heroes of Olympus. But just the fucking flying pig came out of nowhere, and for some reason my brain did not remember oh yes, in this book Percy has to fight a giant flying pig. What?
Yeah, if you would have told me that before going into the book, I'd have been like, what? And now I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
I don't know, and I read a lot of mythology. And I really want to fucking know what myth this flying boar or pig comes from so that I can read it and truly appreciate its magnificence. It's probably mentioned in the book, and I'll have to go back and look into it, but yes, I love it. I love it. So let's see. Okay, let's read the comment before we move on to the next thing, which is, okay. Hi, I have not read this book yet, so I have you muted, but hello, I'm going to go clean now so I can stop procrastinating and unhaul books. When you get that video uploaded, send me the link. Because I might want to buy some of your shit. So, holy moly. Got
18 million notifications?
Actually, mostly just from the CBC group chat. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so you have no more just kind of overall thoughts?
No, my most of my thoughts for this reread kind of pertain to specific aspects of the book. So is my overall enjoyment of the series comes from those. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move into characters, and let's just kind of when we're talking about characters, let's try to do it in like not the order they appear, but just kind of try to focus on one character at a time, because a lot of them do have pretty big art, like overarching plots, like character developments. So who do you want to start with?
Oh gosh. Let's see. I'm just gonna kind of skim through the book and see like what characters pop up first.
I mean, the first character that I thought of that I know we won't talk about for that much is Beckendorf.
I'm still not okay with that. 10 years later, I'm fucking not okay with that. That is one of the book character deaths that I will never forgive the author for, because he did not deserve to die like that. And I get that he was being a hero, but at the same time, Rick, why? Why did you have to break our hearts so much in the beginning of the series? It's like there's nothing that leads up to this. Nobody named really like ever dies in the series, other than of course Pan, but that was a little bit different. But like no named character actually dies until this book.
Yeah, which
and I am like
fairly in the beginning, so it's
dark. Like Ryan was like, yeah, I know these people are technically children, but I'm still gonna kill them. It's like, dude, why? What the fuck? Oh my gosh, I fucking can't with I can't with the deaths Rick puts in the book. It's an unfortunate thing. I just like I can't believe that he fucking blew him up, man.
Like literally, I was reading it and I was like, oh yeah, I know this is gonna happen. I know this is gonna happen. Even then, as soon as it happens, I'm just like,
no,
fuck, it
but
happened.
like, oh my god, I'm so like, I fucking can't. Just the fact that Percy like knew it was gonna fucking happen, and we see it from his perspective of he wants to try and save his friend, but the fact that he can't do it like kills him inside is like I think this is like kind of, other than the first book, this is kind of the first book where Percy really has to deal with the trauma of the fact that he's losing people. Like people are actively dying, and like obviously in the first book, his mom didn't actually die, but he was under the belief that she did. But experiencing like having to experience that through Percy's eyes, because again, he's currently 15 when the book starts. When the book starts, he's 15 years old, just about to turn 16. And so when you think about it, it's this 15-year-old kid who is watching other kids around his age die. It kind of puts your own mortality into perspective when you see people around your age bracket dying. Like, it's...
Yeah, it kind of almost, it shows that life isn't the way that it, like, your life won't be the same as it always is. That things will change, people will die. It's that life isn't the way that you want it to be.
Exactly. And, like, just, there are four main, I'm going to call them main characters because they were, like, they were essential to the plot of the book. There was Ethan. Still not okay with that one either, because he was like he was just lost. Like he was like, I don't know what to like. I don't know really what to say about him other than the fact that I feel bad for him. He was just fucking lost, and he didn't really know what else to do other than like go to the first place that welcomed him for who he was, which was Kronos' army, because he's like, well, if Camp Half-Blood won't accept me, like, what's the point of trying to fight for them? And then I'm trying to remember everybody else who died in this book.
Well, can I briefly just I'm gonna kind of briefly add to like what you were saying about Ethan, of how it's almost like the representation of, if we were to like scale it back a little bit, of like, for example, a kid not being accepted by a group of friends that you want to be friends with, and then feeling that isolation. So then you'll go to anybody that's willing. And so it has that more take back that some kids can like recognize of, I wasn't accepted by these friends. I'll go hang out with these people, even though they might not be the best for me. And like, you see how that ends for Ethan. And so it can kind of correlate to like the message is a really necessary one, but obviously this is a little bit more of a grand scale.
And then like piggybacking off of Ethan's death, we have Selena. Another instance of a kid who was just lost. And like you can tell like throughout the book and throughout the series in general, when she has her moments of like being on page, I guess.
Yeah, moments of relevance,
yes. So like you can see that she doesn't actively want to hurt her friends. She obviously, because of her like act of courage, stupidity, whatever you want to call it.
It's a little bit of both.
Donning Clarice's armor and just charging into fucking battle. And I really like how that was like the turning point for Clarice's kind of character arc, like kind of where she started being like, okay, I gotta let go of my pride for right now. Like she's like, I can't like hold back everything. And then also the Apollo campers being like, you know what, Chariot's not worth our time and energy right now. And so yeah, that was really it was pretty impactful when you think about it, just because like you don't like expect that. And yeah, it's just one of those things that like when you think about it, it's kind of sad, because it's like, well, I mean obviously it's sad because she died, but like just the fact that she felt like she had to go to such extreme lengths to make up for what she had done. And then the fact that everyone who knew that she was a spy just agreed not to talk about it. They're like, nope, this never happened. She never did this. And like, it was like, she was never a spy. And they treated her like still like an equal. So that, not just so that, but like everyone who died, they treated as like an equal, including Ethan, of course. And so it was just like, even when people do bad things, or like questionable things, I should say, they like kind of like have to face the consequences of that, and they try to make it up to you. It's like sometimes like you know, sacrifice is a huge part of it. And speaking of sacrifice, oh boy,
do we want to go there?
We have to.
I think we should. I don't want to, but we have to.
Castellan. First of all, I could never read his name properly growing up. I thought it was Calliston.
I can see that. I can see
don't know.
that
My
mistake.
brain mispronounces. Like, I read shit wrong all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So do I have dyslexia? Am I a demigod? I just realized I'm not wearing my Camp Half-Blood shirt. Damn it. I have worn the Camp Half-Blood shirt in every single. Do I change? Do I change my shirt? I'm changing my shirt when we talk about Luke before we talk about Luke, because
Okay.
you start the conversation about Luke.
I don't know. Well, I guess I'll kind of say of kind of what I said earlier of I totally forgot how he died. Like, I totally forgot how that entire thing went. Like, I remembered, I was like, yeah, Luke dies at the end. But I forgot the exact details. So as I said, reading that, it was like a stab in my own heart of just like, oh no, this hurt 10 times more than I remembered, and I don't like it. I'm uncomfy. So yeah, that was my like first reaction while reading that entire, like,
I have donned the
his end, I guess.
Yeah, and also the fact that why Luke did what he did as far as like listening to Kronos, joining Kronos' army. Like he was just like everybody else. He was lost and he was frustrated. It's like kind of like the only frustration you can really feel like when a parent has abandoned you in one way or another, and whether or not that's actually the case, Luke felt abandoned, so that's part of why he acted the way he did. But you could see, especially when he interacted with Annabeth at the end of the book, that he needed to that he still cared and that there was still a shred of his humanity left. And I think that's what almost like kept him going and made him obviously strong enough to take the cursed blade and stab himself. Which I've never stabbed myself, but I also know that being stabbed is not exactly a quick way to die. And the fact that without hesitation, Percy, like, he's not like, oh my gosh, like, glad the traitor's dead. He literally says like, he says something along the lines of, get a shroud for the, or like, let me see.
Yeah, I know what line you're thinking of, but I cannot remember it. But yeah, I like that of how, like, Luke had enough, like, not compassion, but enough care for everybody.
It's the last line of chapter 19. It's, we need a shroud, I announced, my voice cracking, a shroud for the son of Hades.
The son of Hermes.
Hermes, yes. Jesus. I can't fucking do it today. Listen, give me a break. I almost called this book The Lightning Thief several times. Okay.
Fair.
So,
yeah, but as I was saying of how, like, Luke knew that the only way that this would all be over is if he basically sacrificed himself. And that's not an easy choice to make. And so him being able to make that choice shows just how strong and how, I'm trying to think of how to word it, of how even though that he knew that he made wrong choices in life, that this choice would be the final right choice.
Exactly. And just like having, like, to again watching that through Percy, who is again 15 years old, and he's watching his friends and basically the family he's created over the last 3-4 years just die, which is an incredibly heartbreaking thing. And speaking of seeing things through Percy's perspective, his character arc throughout this book is very impactful because you can kind of see where he kind of like, obviously he has a lot of turning points in the book, but I think the first one was when Beckendorf died. That's like when he really had to confront the fact that people were going to die, and that as much as he wished that he could, there was like no way to stop it. But he still did like everything he could to protect people. And the fact that he went into the river Styx, speaking of which, that scene still fucking gets me, because he goes in, right? And he's like, okay, gotta think of something to keep me anchored to the earth. He does not think of his mom first. Like, obviously he thinks of his mom, but his mom's not the one like that pulls him out. It's Annabeth that like he's thinking about in there. And the fact that he placed his Achilles spot where he did was very very interesting, because he understood that would be the most, like, obviously the most protected spot, of course. But I think it's interesting that he chose right there, and I don't think it was only because that it was the most protected spot. And the fact that I guess we're kind of moving on between Annabeth and Percy, but just the fact that like when they were doing that battle scene where they were fighting side by side, takes me back to the beginning of the series where Annabeth says, I don't know what our parents will do. I just know I'll fight next to you, which full circle moment. Again,
Oh yeah.
hurt my feelings. But the fact that like Percy he literally didn't tell anybody about where his Achilles spot was. And the fact that Annabeth just like somehow instinctively knew that was where she needed to be at that moment is just like, it's wonderful. And like the way Percy describes their battle is almost like they were like made to fight with each other. Because it's said several times in the series and even in this book that like Percy and Annabeth have this this bond that like makes them like stronger. And the kind of the joke is like, you don't want to be on the opposite side of Percy and Annabeth, because dude's a fucking maniac, and Annabeth is just as much of a maniac when she gets there. And so she again sacrificed, like she was willing to sacrifice herself to literally save Percy, which is again not something I appreciated as much as a kid. But also that scene still gets me. Just the fact that he's just like yelling at everybody and he literally holds his sword out and is like, that was the first instance I fell in love with the nobody touch her trope. It was literally because of this book. Because like, yeah, it's a cliche, but it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, protectiveness is attractive, like as long as it doesn't get to the point of possession, which obviously Percy doesn't, because he realizes that Annabeth is her own fucking person and she has no hesitation. I mean, you will see in future books for the Riderton along that she does not hesitate to put that man in his place. And I fucking love Annabeth for that. Like she is definitely grows from being like almost bossy in the first book to being not necessarily bossy, but more confident and assured of who she is. And again, like watching her grow as a character, and especially in this book, just like watching her kind of like grow and like mature into being like the person that she is and kind of the starting point for where she develops for the rest of the books. And also, I love her relationship with Rachel because here's the thing. Yes, they're fighting over a guy, but they also have like a mutual respect for each other. Of that, like they're like I can appreciate the fact that you enjoy art and architecture. They can bond over that. And then, of course, when Rachel becomes the Oracle at the end of the book, Annabeth is like, kind of takes like it's kind of like has a selfish like aspect on it. She's like, well, you can't marry anybody, so I got the man. But
yeah,
also,
that's like where she's kind of like that classic teenage girl, like, haha, I got the boy, but like,
yes, but she also shows that she respects Rachel. We have not talked about Grover and some of the other fun. Grover is. I love Grover. He's kind of like that glue that holds everything together. Like, just like watching him kind of come into his role as the Lord of the Wild. When you think about it, Grover literally took Pan's spot. Grover might not be a god or anything like that, but he has like this blessing from Pan where he has like this goal to be like, he has like this new goal. He has this new thing of like being like, okay, I need to honor Pan by doing what I can to by doing what I can to like stand for what he stood for, which was really interesting. And I loved that. And also the final two characters that I want to talk about are Sally and Paul.
Oh my gosh.
I have been anticipating that scene since we started book one because it is probably my favorite scene in the series. Mostly just because of how fucking hilarious it is. Just like Paul doesn't even fucking hesitate. Man just grabs a sword and starts swinging. He's like, don't fucking touch Sally. I know she can protect herself, but I want to feel included.
Yeah, and
like he just like no hesitation. He's like, time to go berserker mode.
Yeah, and one thing I love from the beginning of the book, Percy refers to Sally and Paul as his parents, not his mom and stepdad or his mom and Paul. It's his parents. I like saw that and I was like, holy shit. I forgot by this point, like, he's already like, yep, Paul's basically a parent to him and he's not like, just
Paul's my second dad.
Yeah, like,
and just again, Paul's relationship with Percy is hilarious. And I love how again, we see in this book how he just like accepts Percy like right off the bat. He's like, okay, well, my stepson is the son of a Greek god. And then he just like kind of rolls with it. He's like, okay. And also the fact that he got a little bit offended when he couldn't go up to Olympus was hysterical because he was like, but I want to go up to Olympus. I want to do it. And Sally's like, dude, we can't fucking go up there. It's like, not allowed.
Not for us.
It's just like not allowed. No mortals are allowed up there. And he's just like disappointed in that fact. And he's like, life is unfair.
And the thing is, that he's upset with that for a while after.
Oh, 100%.
He's just like, are you sure we can't? Like, we can't just go up and just like take a peek, like 5 minutes? It's like, no,
you will die. But also, I can also like imagine like kind of this like kind of like a silly headcanon that Paul and Poseidon actually end up becoming like friends, and Poseidon just sneaks him up to Olympus for just a couple of minutes and is like, dude, okay, take a quick look around. I'm going to get in so much trouble if somebody finds you up here. So, just
like if anybody asks, I didn't do this.
If anybody asks, I'm petitioning to make you a god. I was like, what the fuck? I would love to see that. Like, that's fucking hilarious. And then also Sally with the shotgun. That is a hysterical like image in my mind. Again, she was like no hesitation, breaks into a fucking police car, steals a shotgun, and just starts like she's just like, come at me, motherfuckers.
Yeah, and when she was asked, like, you know how to shoot a shotgun, it's like, yeah, like 2 seconds ago.
And everybody was
like, I figured it out.
And she's like, I figured it out about 2 seconds ago, and everybody's just like, oh shit.
Everyone's just
now
like,
Sally knows how to use a gun. We are extra double super fucked.
They're like, we were scared of you before, but now we're not even gonna like think negative things towards you, or you might find a way to end us.
Everybody's just like, Sally, we love you, but we're also fucking terrified of you.
Don't get on her bad side.
Nope. So yeah, I think that's it for what I wanted to say about characters. If there was anything else you wanted to add.
I don't think I have that much to add, except the ending, kind of where Percy has the opportunity to literally become a god.
Oh my God.
He doesn't, because like all he wants is just all demigods to be treated equally, to be claimed by their parents, to have a place, and that shows his like determination for like his caringness towards others.
And also he has his moment of being like, and like in his mind he's like, and if I become a god, Annabeth can't be my girlfriend. So
well, yeah, there's that, but like ultimately there's that, but then there's also of him just being like, I just want
his main reason. His main reason is like wanting the fact that he was so demanding in that scene. He literally looks at Zeus, the king of the gods, like, and just looks at him and goes, I'm gonna demand some shit from you, and you're gonna swear on the river of Styx that you're gonna fucking do it. And Zeus is like, I don't know why, but I want to listen to you because you kind of scare me. For a 15-year-old child, you kind of scare the fuck out of me. So, yeah, I love that. So, anything else before I move over to the comments?
I was trying to just find the thing, but I love how just a random one-off thing that kind of relates to like that whole claiming of all the demigods. I love how Poseidon jokes with Percy of how like Poseidon's like, I guess I should go claim those other kids, and he's like, what? It's like,
fucking excuse me, because like he also makes them break that vow that, oh my god, that's gonna come back and bite us in the ass. Percy made them break that vow that the big three would not have any more kids. Because none of them held up their end of the deal.
I don't want to think about it.
Now I'm wondering, holy shit, is that going to come into play during the Percy Jackson and the Chalice of the Gods? Because
I don't think so, but also
Rick has been very cryptic lately.
I was gonna say
about his Instagram post today. I'm just like, sir, why are you quoting Avatar? I don't even know. So
yeah, I don't think I have any thoughts. If I think of them, we'll add them to the other random things.
Exactly. So going to the comments. Oh, I'm here. You can go. Rocking the Camp Half-Blood shirt. Thank you. I have had this for, I'm going to say like 6 or 7 years, I want to say. Difficult decisions, family relationships, and conflict, both external and internal, are the main driving points through a lot of major key points in the book. For sure. Everyone has a breaking point too, but it's our reactions that dictate whether we repress those emotions or would rather just deal with them out in the open. Beautiful writing for sure. Hard agree. Grover is my favorite. I do love the G-Man. He's great. I'm so excited for his character to come to life in the TV show because yes, I love him. I fucking love him. So what is next on the agenda? Because we spent like half an hour talking about characters.
The next is just like specific scenes we have thoughts of, and then I have like location / like monsters, which I think I'm just gonna switch that to enemies.
I mean, we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Any like other scenes that you think stand out to you? Oh, and also anybody's reaction with Tyson makes me it's just that's definitely just I love Tyson. I want to be his friend very badly.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to who they'll get to play Tyson in the TV show. Because the show is basically greenlit for a season, or has been greenlit, or basically the second season has basically been greenlighted, but they're technically waiting to see how well the first season does. And I'm like, I will make up so much viewership. I will be watching that show because you guys don't know. Do we want to reveal that yet?
We'll save that.
Okay.
I think we'll save that.
Well, actually, yeah, because the show's not coming out until 20.
Yeah, we'll save it a little bit closer to the time, but
we're going to be doing a lot of exciting things. So,
I'm just kind of briefly flipping through to just see if anything, like, there's nothing that really like stands out besides things we've already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we've talked about most of the big things at least.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we missed, and honestly, I don't think so.
Ooh. I just thought of one random thing that I loved. Is of how Annabeth used oh my god, brain farting in the name. The statues.
Oh my god, yeah, we're just gonna call them the animatrons?
Like, yeah, kind of that.
We'll just call them animatrons.
Of how, like,
it feels better than just calling them robots. Animatrons. That was, oh my god.
That's one thing that randomly just popped in my head, and I'm like, I first totally forgot that happened, and B was like, it's so cool to just kind of like imagine like these.
And Percy's like looking at her, and he's just like, okay, she's hot. Like, she's really fucking hot.
Let her do what she's doing, and I'll just sit here and be like, yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna watch.
I'm just gonna watch while you do something smart.
And he doesn't, like, even when she has like that second of doubt and being like, they could help us or they could try and kill us, he's just like, okay, fucking send it. Go for it. Do it. It's crazy. And I love it. And it's wonderful. And I am very, very, very happy.
Yeah. And then one thing that, again, my brain just thought of is Annabeth gets to redesign Olympus. And I love that.
Oh my god, yes. That. And she was like, I'm sorry, you want me to do what?
Like little old me?
I'm fucking ready. Let's go, bitches. You know that she has plans upon plans upon plans of things to do that's going to keep her busy. Like, she might end up being the one to become a god just so that she can finish her rebuild of Olympus.
Yeah, and how
she becomes a god, Percy's obviously going to become a god too.
Yeah, and how she's going to be staying in New York, and like of how there's where the fuck is the line? Doo-dah. Of how it's like she's literally going to be like going to school in New York so that she can do Olympus. But also it's like
I get to see my girl more often.
Yeah, because it's like
I love that.
But she laced her fingers through mine. I remembered what she told me in New York about building something permanent, and I thought, just maybe, we were off to a good start. I read that and I literally was just shaking and just like,
Percy was my first book crush, I think. Other than Brendan Salinger from Spellbound, but I feel like that doesn't really count. But anyways, yeah. Wonderful. So what is next?
The rest is just kind of, first we have random, which aka is all of your notes.
Yeah. I take notes when I'm reading now. I mark up my books. I love it. It's fun. And so I am gonna look through my notes and see what's I don't think I took as many notes this time as I usually do, but I still took a fair good few. Oh my god. This is hysterical. So it's the scene in the beginning of the book where Rachel and Percy are talking. This is literally on page 8. And it's like we'd spent a lot of time together this summer. I hadn't exactly planned it that way, but the more serious things got at camp, the more I found myself needing to call up Rachel and get away, just for some breathing room. I needed to remind myself that the mortal world was still out there, away from all the monsters using me as their personal punching bag. Okay, I said, just a normal afternoon and 2 normal people. And she nodded. And so, hypothetically, if these 2 people liked each other, what would it take to get the stupid guy to kiss the girl? Huh? Oh, he felt like one of Apollo's sacred cows. Slow, dumb, and bright red. And then, of course, Blackjack shows up and he's like, hello, I require your attention.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love Blackjack. Oh, and then here's another one. This one's on page 12. It's bracketed for this scene. It's Beckendorf pulled a piece of paper out of his pocket. I thought it was a map or something. Then I realized it was a photograph. He stared at it in the dim light, the smiling face of Selena Beauregard, daughter of Aphrodite, that started going out last summer after years of the rest of us saying, duh, you guys like each other. Even with all the dangerous missions, Beckendorf had been happier this summer than I'd ever seen him. And then I drew a line saying, them at Percy and Annabeth.
Literally.
Everybody's sitting there and they're like, oh my gosh. They're like, are they stupid? Like, are they brain dead? And they're like, Annabeth, you're supposed to be the smart one. But let's see. I have a couple of notes. Oh, here's one. Tyson goes, my brother broke into a toothy grin. This is after Percy wakes up in Poseidon's palace. And so he goes, my brother broke into a toothy grin. Yay, your brain works! And I'm like, does it though? Because Annabeth is right. He can be kind of a seaweed brain sometimes.
Most of the time.
This is just another iconic Tyson line. I love him. Let's see. Tyson put his arm around me. If anyone else had tried that, I would have pushed him away. But Tyson was too big and stubborn. He hugged me whether I wanted it or not. Not your fault, brother. Kronos does not explode good. Next time we will use a big stick. And then I drew an arrow and said, stick equals best weapon. And the fact that also that Grover, like, that's literally what he asks for, like, when the gods are, like, bestowing gifts. He looks at them and he goes, I want a stick. And Zeus is like, what? He's like, I want a stick. Give me my damn stick.
They're probably just sitting there just like, would ever have to give him?
They're like, you know what? I also love that this is probably the most, like, normal, like, thing that somebody has asked a god for is just a fucking stick. And Zeus was like, in my millennia of existence, nobody has ever asked me for a fucking stick. And I'm like, you know what? To be honest, I would probably panic and say the same thing. Or just a shit ton of money so I could buy more books.
You'd be like, the winning lotto numbers, please.
I'd be like, yeah, what are the numbers to the Powerball? I don't know how to play the lottery, okay?
I don't know either.
Closest I've come to gambling is using a scratch-off ticket.
So I haven't even done one of those legally yet.
How old do you have to be to purchase one of those in Canada?
18.
Oh, okay.
I just keep on forgetting to take my ID with me everywhere, so I can't even buy one without my ID.
Oh, I think you have to be 21 in Colorado to play, but I don't know. Anyways, so here's another one. It's when Nico and Hestia, or Percy and Hestia, have all, like, met up, and it's Hestia nodded. Very well. I cannot be of much assistance beyond what I have already told you, but since you sacrificed to me, I can return you to your own hearth. I will see you again, Percy, on Olympus. Her tone was ominous, as though our next meeting would not be happy. And I just went, bruh. Oh, and here's another one. Paul is like, so this is literally the next page. My love for Paul. It's Paul laughed like he was delighted. Are you kidding? This is awesome. I mean, when I saw the hoof prints on the Prius, I thought maybe, but this? He's just, like, down with the fact that Mrs. O'Leary is there literally destroying his house. And he's like, he's not like, what? Like, he's not like, what the fuck? Why is this thing in my house? He's just like, oh my God. Holy shit. This is the coolest thing ever. And then Sally's just sitting there and she's like, oh God. What have I done?
Just like, what else is my child gonna bring home?
And now she's like, what the fuck is Paul gonna bring home now? Let's see. Here's another one. It's as Nico and Percy are shadow traveling, and Nico goes, with great power comes great responsibility to take a nap. And I thought that was hilarious because, one, I am not entirely sure how Nico learned about a Spider-Man reference because he was locked in a hotel for 50-something years.
I think it was like 60.
50, 60 years. 60. Regardless, the man somehow, in between being an angsty little shit or being like a happy-go-lucky 11-year-old, right? He was 11. Yeah. Wait. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say that he was to an angsty-ass 13-year-old to find time to either read a Spider-Man comic or watch... Actually, at this point in time, when this book came out, the only Spider-Man movies that would have been out were the Tobey Maguire versions. And so he would have had to watch those.
Somehow.
And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, how did you learn this?
Like, he found a new hobby.
How did you learn that this...
I mean, we don't know what he's doing when he's not on page, so...
Exactly. So I'm just like, is he secretly still a comic book nerd? Because, like, Myth of Magic is a thing still. Also, the fact that Myth and Magic is what Rick named his production company for like the adaptations and stuff is hysterical to me. It's yeah. Oh, and then I don't know if they officially ever become a couple, but like Connor and Katie, I have always fucking shipped them. My favorites. And this one is on page 165, so chapter 10, and it's the line that goes, Connor, Katie Gardner scolded. It sounded like her mother, Demeter. I'm sorry, I can't think about Katie Gardner without thinking about Dave. I didn't. Okay, in my defense, I did not intend to make that fan fiction as sad as I did. It was supposed to be a comedy about a demigod who dies of peanut allergy. I didn't mean to give him feelings. He was just supposed to die, and that was it. Anyways, this is serious. You are not going to loot a candy store in the middle of a war. And I just went, not with that attitude.
But that's something I feel like I would do.
Oh, here's another one. Here's another funny one. They have boats, Michael, you pointed out. An electric tingle went down my back. Suddenly I understood Athena's advice. Remember the rivers. I'll take care of the boats, he said. Michael frowned. How? I just said, he's the son of the sea, dummy. I was just like, how? How does one forget that? He's literally, as of right now, the most powerful demigod in existence. Because I think even Talia and Nico agree that like Percy is more powerful than them.
Yeah.
Because water can be a lot more destructive. Because like when you think about it, yes, Nico can like shadow travel and raise the dead, but that's kind of the extent of his abilities. And Talia, while she's a great fighter and is a huntress of Artemis, she also she can't even really wield lightning. So it's kind of just agreed that at this point in the books that Percy is the most powerful demigod, even if he doesn't recognize that he is.
Yeah, like everything that he can do, and he's kind of still just like, yeah, I can do that, but
yeah. Let's see. Here's another one. From chapter 10. It's the Apollo cabin needs help, and Percy, the monster leading the enemy, is the Minotaur. And my note for that was, it's the circle of life. Because what goes around comes around, and the fact that Percy is just like no hesitation, it's just like, all right,
I gotta do this. Yeah, like I gotta do this again.
He's like, did it once before when I was 12 and didn't know what I was doing. Now I am impervious to injuries, and I'm a fully realized demigod. I'm about to kick some Minotaur ass. It's great and wonderful and beautiful. And then, here's another one. Page 194. Will Solis's name came up, and I just put brackets and wrote the baby. Just because. Just because. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. If you keep up with us. Let's see. I feel like there's more. I feel like I wrote more notes.
Okay, I just found a random line from page 202 that would be me in the middle of a battle.
Which one?
Grover was having a snack in the living room. I'm like, that would be me. I would be like in the middle thing. I'd be
literally me.
I'd be like, give me 5 minutes. Let me sit down, have a little snack.
Also, the fact that the people just accept the fact that Tyson's battle cry is just peanut butter. It's just people don't even question it. They're like, all right.
They're just like, cool.
Like, no questions asked. He's like, everybody's like, all right, hey. dude's killing monsters. So like, let's just like assume that yeah. Oh, and also the fact that the party ponies came in with all of their shit is hilarious because it's just like they're like let's fucking go. We are ready to cause mayhem and chaos everywhere we possibly can.
And I love
they were
it.
like, oh, you want us to fight and you want us to be chaos? Okay, let's fucking go. We will be the most chaotic platoon, squadron, group. I don't know. I'll just say group because I don't understand military terminology. Might be a military brat, but I do not understand military terminology in the slightest. The most chaotic group of people was definitely the party ponies, and then of course the most chaotic character period was definitely Clarice because she was just like, well, I killed a giant worm snake thing. Now I'm just gonna ride around New York with its corpse trailing behind me.
And
like,
I mean, mood.
Okay, Clarice, you do you. Let's see.
What she was dragging around, was it Draken?
Draken?
Draken? Yeah. I just
Yeah.
randomly found the word on a page, and I was like, that's it. That's what word we've been looking for.
Let's see. Is there any more notes that I made? I feel like I made notes towards the end of the book. Oh. Stick, Tyson said, showing his broken club. I just go, me. And then Zeus's response is, very well, we will grant you a new stick. The best stick that may be found. And Tyson's like, whoop! Whoop! I'm hyped. And also the appearance of Coach Hedge. Again, if you know, you know. I love how he just like pops up and he's also like, I'm also ready to fight anybody and everybody I possibly fucking can.
Yep.
Let's see. There's more. Oh, and of course we actually I'm gonna end the live with this thing. Actually, I have it memorized at this point, so I don't even need to look at it. I think that's it as far as my notes go.
Yeah, I don't have a notes, but my reaction to just of like the canoe like Connor stole shouted, I started laughing at that.
Connor's like, all right,
just like chaos.
Yay! Like just no hesitation. Everybody's like, all right, guess we're throwing Percy and Annabeth into the lake.
Yeah, they're just like,
there's like no questions asked. They're like, first of all, fucking finally. We've been waiting for that for the past.
Well, literally, the line is, well, it's about time.
Yep.
Everyone's like, we expected this. We expected this.
But
also, like, why didn't this happen like 2 years ago? Jesus Christ.
They're just like, why? And also the line about, can't I get a kiss for good luck? It's kind of tradition. And Annabelle's going, come back alive and we'll see. And I'm just like, that...
she knows.
I just want someone to love me as much as Percy loves Annabeth. That's like all I want in life.
No.
Basically, if my future partner does not treat me like how Percy treats Annabeth, I will there will be words. But anyways, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to add. Oh, and just the fact that they don't bother coming back up. For a while, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna make out with my girlfriend underwater, dude.
Yeah, they're just like, everybody up there.
Everybody can get, let them wonder. And it's funny to me because it's like, why, what did they expect to happen when they threw them literally in the water?
They were just like, probably like a few seconds later, they were just like, we didn't think this through. He's
They're like,
literally
oh,
the
they're
son
not
of
coming back up for a
Poseidon.
while. But yeah, I think that's the end of my notes.
Okay.
There's anything else?
And the only other thing is ranking.
Ooh. Yes, we'll do that before we move on to the last couple of things.
So where does this book fit on your ranking?
What is my ranking currently?
Currently, yours is The Battle of the Labyrinth, The Lightning Thief, The Titan's Curse, and The Sea of Monsters. So currently your favorite is at the Battle of the Labyrinth.
Oh man, these books are pretty much tied. But I think I'm gonna have to put this one above Battle of the Labyrinth, just because of the emotional attachment that I had in this book. Just like
same. I literally sat
many feelings and emotions.
I literally sat staring at the note for a good 5 minutes last night, like after I finished the book. I was like, okay, where does this go? Where does this go? And I agreed with that. I think it's like this is just a little bit above, I think, just because the character arcs
exactly
are a little bit better, and also just it's just so much chaos. I love it.
Yes.
Like, the Battle of the Labyrinth does have a little bit of chaos, but this is more chaos.
But all of this is like, Rick was like, all right. I'm just imagining Rick writing this book after downing like 4 Monster Energy drinks and 2.5 Red Bull while drinking an entire pot of coffee. And he's just like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's see what I can come up with. And he created that. And honestly, I can't say that I'm mad about it because obviously.
And then the only other thing is the announcement. So do you want to do yours first, or should I do mine?
So, because we have to do we actually have to announce a couple of different things that we're participating in. So let me add those to my list really quick.
Yeah. So I guess first we'll announce that there will be, like, the next live show will be for The Ultimate Guide and
Percy Jackson's Greek Gods.
Yeah.
No, Heroes. That's what we're reading.
Yes, it's Heroes. I was going to say Greek Gods too. It's because we switched them last minute because of realizing that was the right order. And that
yeah. We've explained that. Everything is subject to change.
Yes.
Mostly just because Hope and I are indecisive as fuck.
And that the live show will probably be either...
It can't be the 7th.
Probably the 14th of January, unless we end up having other plans. To my knowledge, I don't have plans that day.
I can't think that far ahead.
But that will be like...
I don't even know what I'm doing an hour from now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tentatively, it's the 14th, but keep an eye out on the Discord and the Twitter for that.
Yes,
we will
all
try
of those
to
links.
Give more of a announcement beforehand instead of like 30 minutes before, because we forgot.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on that. I will admit. So coming in the new year, hopefully we'll have our shit together.
Yeah, and then there'll be an announcement for the next few books we're reading.
Yes, I will.
I'm going to try to have that up sometime before Christmas, if not.
It's probably going to be one of the next.
Right after. I need to film it, but probably.
That's going to probably be the next video I film and edit and upload after I film the other announcement, which I'll talk about here too, of course.
Because we've got
a lot going on.
Yes.
so much going on that we are all very excited to share with you guys.
The one announcement isn't related to this, but I did also mention it on the Twitter.
You did. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is first. We're just going to talk about news related to the show and the books, about just anything that pertains to that. So kind of the first thing I wanted to mention was that the poster for Percy Jackson and the Olympians was released recently, just like kind of like the how they do like promotional posters outside of movie theaters. That style of poster was released recently. I don't know if that's like available for purchase or not, but it is available if you wanted to go check that out and see if it was possible to purchase it. And then the next is kind of a casting update. Is Ryan Cowie, or is it Ryan? Yeah, Ryan Cowie has been cast in the Percy Jackson series for a mysterious role that nobody is 100% sure of what he's doing, but he is credited in a couple of episodes. So if you guys don't know who he is in a couple of different things. He's been in Attack, Firefly Lane, Psycho Intern, Monster Trucks, Zombie Punch, just Law and Order. He was in an episode of Law and Order, an episode of The L Word. He's kind of done a lot of smaller roles in the past, but I'm interested to see how he's incorporated into the series, because his only character title is Chaperone, and he's credited for 2 different episodes. So I'm curious to see how that plays in, because Rick did say that there were going to be some original elements added to the show, so I don't know if he's just playing a normal chaperone or if he's going to have like a larger role or what's going to happen with that, but I'm intrigued. So yeah, next, I did want to throw my personal theory in there, and I don't think that this is accurate, but I think it's just kind of fun to think about, is that Timothy Osmondson is not actually playing Hephaestus. He's playing Poseidon. And the reason I'm saying that is because in one of his tweets, he said, "This is going to knock your fins off." That's what got me thinking about this theory. Again, I don't think it's going to actually happen. I just thought it was kind of fun to think about. But regardless of who he's playing in the show, I am so excited to see him in it. I love him so much. He's great, and I'm excited to see him. And then also the Kane Chronicles films, I might have mentioned this in a past live. The Kane Chronicles film rights have been sold to Netflix. I am hoping that they change that to put it to Disney Plus, but mostly just because I worry about Netflix canceling it. I would not be okay with that. But again, there's really no word about that. They're currently working on the script at the moment, so I don't know how much involvement Rick has with the script or what's kind of going on with that. I assume he has some part of it. I think he's learned his lesson after the first Percy Jackson movies.
Yeah.
So probably gets everybody to double, triple, and quadruple check every single contract he signs. Mm-hmm. And also, if you're interested, the Mark of Athena graphic novel cover was revealed recently. So if you're interested in the graphic novels, those will possibly be a part of the Ride and Along, but I don't know if Hope will be participating in that or if it will just be me hosting that. Either way, that'll be part of the Ride and Along, and I'm excited about that because I think the graphic novels are gorgeous, and I have not read them yet. So, and also in exciting adaptation news, rumors have been spread, particularly by Rick, that there might be a Magnus Chase adaptation in the not necessarily in the works. They want to see how the first season of Percy Jackson goes, of course, but I have a pretty good feeling that we're going to get a Magnus Chase adaptation. I can feel it. I can feel it. I think it's gonna happen. And honestly, I'm extremely fucking hyped for that because, of course, like, duh.
Yeah.
It's Magnus Chase. I will. Oh, I love that series.
Like I haven't even read that series yet, but I just know how amazing it is,
dude.
From everybody saying
to
amazing. Like I know I'm going to love that.
Oh, you're gonna love the series, and you are going to love Alex. Perfection. Perfection human. And then the last two announcements are actually not necessary. Actually, I'll do the announcement that is the most related to the Riordan Along, and for that, it's just the announcement for the book that we will be reading in January. Again, coming announcement video will probably explain the first couple of months of what the next year's Riordan Along will look like. But I do want to tell you guys that we will be reading December's books are The Ultimate Guide and Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes. And then in January, our book will be The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. And we'll have that live show sometime in February. Not entirely sure when we're going to have it in February, but because we also have other exciting announcements coming in February, but we can't tell you that.
We have so many things happening in February.
So many things, and honestly, I'm fucking hyped. I have not been this excited about BookTube, I think, ever. I think this is the first time I've been like super, like just genuinely excited for putting out content and talking about everything. There's just like, there's so much I want to do. Yeah, I will probably be doing BookTube until I'm like 90.
I'm just realizing we have 3 different things in February. On top of I have like 3 different important birthdays that month.
Yep.
Because I have my birthday, my dad's birthday, and then technically multiple cousins, but only one that I will probably actually celebrate.
And Kim's birthday is in February.
That's the same day as my dad's.
Anyways, and then finally, we have an exciting announcement. If you enjoy participating in these live discussions or enjoy reading with us, which we enjoy reading with you guys too, we will be co-hosting the Crave Along next year. That starts in January. We will be reading the first book, which is Crave. And I will leave everybody's like announcement videos down below. I have not filmed or uploaded. I haven't even filmed mine yet. I will be doing that. I have a lot of backlogs to film. I just like there's so much to do.
It's like, yeah, so people watching, you may think we are kind of a little crazy for hosting, like helping host 2 different read-alongs. And yes, we are crazy, but are we going to have a bunch of fun? Absolutely.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm hyped. Let me just hold on. I'm just taking notes so that I can remember what I need to add to the description.
And then there's me. I'm just like, everybody can just figure it out themselves.
That's why you have me. I'm the one with the lists.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've been doing challenges the past couple of months, but the only thing that I can think of for this is just practice some self-care, you guys. It's the end of the year, the holidays are around, shit is stressful, and
just like enjoy the holidays.
Do something for yourself. Buy yourself another book, maybe, or if you feel like you're done reading for the year, don't read, or whatever it is you feel like you need to do to take care of yourself, because next year the Riordan Along will be back, and it will be back with a vengeance. So,
yeah, it's so weird that we are just 2 weeks away from the new year.
We are 2 weeks away from. We're actually, Goodreads has like a countdown, so give me a second. I'll tell you exactly how far away we are from the new year, because I'm obsessed. I also, just like to throw this out there, I did not expect to read 140 books so far this year.
Damn.
140 books. Last year, I read 45. I am now at 140, which is absolutely insane. So let's see. We have 13 days and 11 hours left of 2022. And yeah. Again, links will be down in the description for both Hope's channel, any other announcement videos that we have made, and the books that we mentioned, of course, will be linked down below. I need to kind of go back and add some descriptions to a couple of other videos. And then, yeah, we'll go through these last few comments. I will give you my final words, which Hope has no idea what the fuck I'm about to say. I think she's probably a little bit terrified.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to respond to messages. And
Mackenzie says, shh, it's going too fast. I'm curious how, out of my 67, how many were buddy reads with you guys and Reese?
Probably a good chunk.
Yeah, it's probably a fair chunk.
Like half.
But anyways, I will leave you all with this. 7 half-bloods shall answer the call to storm or fire, the world must fall, an oath to take with a final breath as foes bear arms to the doors of death. Oh god, I forgot, did I forget the last line? No. I thought I had this shit memorized. No! Wait, yes. Oh, no. Haha. I got it right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here. Thank you all for joining us, hanging out with us, and I will look forward to seeing you guys actually on Friday for my Friday reading sprint. I don't know if Hope is doing her sprints today or not. No? Okay.
No.
Never mind.
I might do surprise sprints later this week to make up for it, but...
So yeah, keep your eye out for that. Feel free to like or dislike the video. Doesn't matter to me either way. Leave a comment telling us if you're going to be continuing on with the Riordan Along or anything else you would like to add. Feel free to check out the links in my description below. Subscribe to myself and Hope if you so choose. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year for the next round of Riordan Along. Bye!
Bye!
Ending.
And the